I thought maybe I could ask questions. Is that okay with you?
I think it's out of reach. But I don't worry about it. I don't drive anymore. They took my driver's license away from me. It wasn't that I couldn't drive. Well, maybe I'd rather say that I couldn't drive than saying I got too old.
So you were born in 1929. Isn't that the year of the Great Depression?
Yeah. It was a sad time. My father had 4 living children. He'd lost his first wife and 4 children with the Spanish flu. And my mother had lost her first husband and left her 3 little children. Then my mother and father got married, and so they had 5 more, and I was the 3rd one. And I was born in the year of the Great Depression, and it was just the stock market crashed. There was no money, there was no jobs, and they had to ration food and commodities, and that. My mother made our clothes. She cooked everything. We didn't have anything made from the store. And my father, I remember the car he had, he'd have to go out early in the morning and crank it up and until the engine would start turning over. And the cars then made a lot of noise, and you could feel every bump on the road when you went for a ride. And one thing I liked about them though was they had this little window that we called a wing. It was above the front doors, and you could turn that little window, and it was like a fan blowing on you, and it felt good while we were riding. My father, when he bought some food, he would buy like a bushel of apples or a bushel of fruit or 100-pound sack of sugar or flour. And the flour sacks were printed cotton. My mother would use the sacks and make aprons to wear over her clothes or handkerchiefs. And I remember in the kitchen, we had this big old black heavy stove, a coal stove. And when ironing day came around, my mother would put these real heavy irons on the stove to get them hot. And then we would take a hot pad holder and put it around the handle of the irons so we could iron the clothes. And she had a wringer type washing machine, my mother, and she would put some stuff called bluing in the water, and it was for the white clothes, to keep them white. They didn't have Clorox or anything like that then. And then to make starch, she would boil water and put starch in the water, and we'd dip the clothes that needed to be starched in this water and wring them out. And then when they dried, we would sprinkle them down with cold water and roll them up in a bun until we were ready to iron them. They don't do that anymore.